In today's video, we're going to compare a $400,000 rental property to a $700,000 rental property. But stop! Before we go any further, if you haven't already, check out our free beginner's guide to creating a legal basement apartment. You can get it by clicking the button below. And this beginner's guide is one I created with my architect Jordan about the basics of creating a legal basement apartment. Now, before we go into the comparison, something to note, both of these rental properties are located in the city of Welland, about an hour and a half away from Toronto, and they're both detached turnkey rental properties, meaning the investors who purchased both of these properties did not do any renovations to them. They just purchased it and rented it out right away. So let's start with the first rental property. This property was actually purchased for $425,000, and it's located to the east side of the city of Welland, east of the downtown area. This is an area that's more or less a borderline area between a B neighborhood and a C neighborhood. So it's definitely not the best neighborhood in the city of Welland, but when it comes to a single family rental, we are rarely able to buy properties that can produce positive cash flow in the best neighborhoods of the city. So many times we're in that B and C neighborhoods. The alternative is that because we're renting to a single family tenant, we are getting the highest and best possible tenant profile for this home because they get the entire home, they get the entire space, they get a backyard. There's a lot of benefits that come with renting a single family home, so we tend to be able to find better tenant profiles. Now, this particular property was fully renovated, turnkey. It had new floors, new kitchen, was painted, it was in fresh rent-ready shape, and the investor was able to rent it out almost immediately after they purchased it. So let's go into the numbers of this rental property. So it was purchased for $425,000. His monthly rent as soon as he purchased it was about $1,931 plus all utilities. So the tenant is paying for water, gas, and hydro. His mortgage payment each month is $1,255. His property taxes $155 a month. His insurance $125. So all in, his total expenses are about $1,535. Now let's take a look at his cash flow. So his income coming in is $1,931. His expenses are $1,535, which actually brings him close to $400 in positive cash flow, $396 to be exact. Now let's take a look at the $700,000 rental property. This was a property that we actually helped the seller purchase a few years ago, and they then renovated the home, created a full legal basement apartment, and had both the upper and the lower units rented at premium rents. They then decided to go ahead and sell this property, and they reached out to us, at which point we connected them to one of our buyers, and we were able to get this deal done without it ever hitting the MLS. Now, this particular property is located on the west side of the Welland River, on the west side of Welland. This is considered to be a premium neighborhood. It is as good as it gets when it comes to the neighborhoods we look at for our investing, and even in general, if you're considering living in the city of Welland, this is one of the prime areas of the city. Now, this is especially good because when it comes to creating a legal duplex and renting out a home to two separate tenants, you want to be in the nicest neighborhood possible because as a result of having a shared home, your tenant quality does reduce slightly from a single family rental. However, the bonus of having two units rented is your income dramatically increases. So by going to a nicer neighborhood of the city, even though you have two tenants, you can still attract a very good tenant profile. Now, this particular property has a 3-bedroom upper unit that is actually not fully renovated, but it's still rented at $1,695 plus hydro, and the sellers fully renovated the basement to create a full legal basement apartment with 3 bedrooms in it, and that unit is rented for $1,495 plus hydro. And one of the best parts about this property is it comes with a massive lot size with a huge backyard, which in the future we can add a third detached unit to the property or even build an addition to the main house to have a third separate unit. For now, this backyard has a fence down the middle and is split so that each unit has their own private backyard space. Now let's take a look at the numbers for this rental property. The mortgage payment on this purchase is $2,068 a month. His property taxes $255 a month. His insurance about $150. His gas and water bill is about $250. Keep in mind that the tenants pay for hydro. So all in, his expenses are going to be around $2,723 per month. Now let's take a look at his cash flow. His income coming in is $3,190 a month. His expenses $2,723 a month. So all in total, he's going to make around $467 per month in positive cash flow. So which property is actually better? I'll leave that for you to decide. Here are some of my thoughts. When it comes to cash flow, the legal duplex doesn't actually have a whole lot of extra cash flow compared to the single family home in this particular case. If the upper unit was fully renovated and rented, say for $200 or $300 more, then the cash flow number would be significantly higher. But for now, the legal duplex represents a good long-term upside potential, being able to add that third unit, having a lot of land, and being a property in one of the prime neighborhoods of the city. However, keep in mind, at that $700,000 price point, the initial investment required for that purchase is also quite a bit higher. So if you're someone looking to get started and you don't have as much capital to put as a down payment, the single family option may be a better way to get started at a lower price point with only one tenant to work with. Let me know which property you think is a better investment in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to get your free copy of my guide to creating a legal basement apartment in the button below. All the best.